Their primary targets were businessmen and the elite class. They looted lakhs worth of goods in front of the house owner. Even before the house owner could know what the gang was up to, they looted cash and valuables from the house and fled from the place. You may not believe us when we say that the gang managed to escape every time the cops tried to nab them. The cops from 3 states have been on the lookout for the gang members from the past decade, but finally managed to nab them in a secret joint operation. Who were the gang members and what was their modus operandi? We tell you all this and more in today's News 9 Crime Special.
The cases of dacoity are on the rise once again and continue to send panic waves in rural areas of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. According to data available with police, 33 cases of dacoity were registered by different police stations of the state during 2013 against only 20 cases in 2012. Just 10 cases of dacoity were reported in 2011, while 9 cases of dacoity were reported in 2009. As per police records, armed dacoits looted properties and cash worth rupees 13 crores in different cases in 2013. Here is one such case of dacoity from Kolar on the borders of Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. This gang had turned into a big headache for the police of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. They were wanted in 22 cases of dacoity in Karnataka alone. The cops were on the lookout for the gang from the past decade, but the gang gave a slip to the cops every time they tried to nab them. Alerted cops kept a close watch on their movements and successfully nabbed them this time. Who were these gang members? Theirs is an interesting story. November 29th, 2013. Betmangla, Kolar. It was on this day that an unthinkable incident took place at a businessman's house in Betmangla of Kolar district. It was the house of a well-known businessman, Gantla Reddy. It was early in the morning when Gantla Reddy, along with his family, received a shocker. A gang targeted his house, barged in, threatened the businessman and his family at the gunpoint, and made away with cash and valuables. It seemed as though it was a gang of dacoits who had targeted Gantla Reddy's house, only to loot the money and valuables present with him.
ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯುಧ ಸಮೇತ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರು. ನಮಗೆ ಬೆದರಿಸಿದ್ರು, ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಾಣ ತೆಗಿತೀವಿ, ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಮಲಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಮಲಗಿಸಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಬೀರುವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೀ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೊರಟೋದ್ರು. ಅವರು 6 ಜನ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರು. ನಾವು ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರು ಒಂದೊಂದು ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರು, ಅಳಿಯ ಸೊಸೆ ಮಗಳು ಅಳಿಯ ಬೇರೆ ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರು. ನಾವು ಕೂಗ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಸಾಯಿಸಿಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಕೂಗೋದು ಏನು ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ಒಂದು 5-6 kg ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ, 3/4 kg ಗೋಲ್ಡು, ಕ್ಯಾಶು 3,20,000. ಒಂದು ಬೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೀ ಆಗೇ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದನ್ನು ಅವರು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ನಂದು ಲಾಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಬೀಗದ ಕೈ ನನ್ನಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಅವರು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು.
What was more interesting was the fact that the dacoits did not kill anyone, though the family was present right in front of them. Even before Gantla Reddy could learn about what the gang was up to, they had made away with cash and jewelry worth 30 lakh rupees.
29 ನವೆಂಬರ್ 2013 ರಾತ್ರಿ ಸುಮಾರು 1:30ರಿಂದ 2 ಗಂಟೆ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇತಮಂಗಲ ಗ್ರಾಮದ ಗಂಟ್ಲರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಅನ್ನೋರ ಮನೆಗೆ 8ರಿಂದ 9 ಜನ ಕಳ್ಳರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಂದು ಬಾಗಿಲು ಹೊಡೆದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಮಾಡಿ ತಾವು ತಂದಿದ್ದಂತಹ ರಾಡ್ಗಳು, ಚಾಕುಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸಿ ಹೆದರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೆದರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಚಿನ್ನ, ಬಂಗಾರ, ಒಡವೆಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಹಣ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೆದರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ.
Gantla Reddy, who then came to know about the dacoity, immediately rushed to the Betmangla police station and lodged a complaint. The case was considered a serious one, and the then SP Rohini Katoch formed 4 teams.
ಆಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಳ್ಳರು ಅವರಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರೇ ಕೀ ತಗೊಂಡು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಸುಮಾರು 700 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬಂಗಾರ, 6 kg ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮತ್ತು 3 ಲಕ್ಷದಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಸಹ ದೋಚಿಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಒಂದು ದಿಂಬು ಕವರ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೊರಟೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಗ ಸ್ಥಳಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಧೀಕ್ಷಕರಾಗಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ರೋಹಿಣಿ ಕಟೋಚ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಬಂದು ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃತ್ಯ ನಡೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸ್ಥಳ ಮತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿನ ವಾತಾವರಣ, MO ಎಲ್ಲ ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಾವು ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶದ ಪೆದ್ದಿಂಟಿ ಗೊಲ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಆ ಗ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಅನುಮಾನ ಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ.
The teams were headed by Bangarpet Police Station Circle Inspector Venkatachalapati and comprised of 4 sub-inspectors from 4 different police stations. The team swung into action and began collecting information about the gang. Each team was given a specific task. Accordingly, the teams collected all the information about similar cases registered in the surrounding police stations, but nothing was known. The gang was so professional that they had managed to get away without leaving any clues whenever they looted. Days passed, but there was no development in the case. Inspector Venkatachalapati then instructed the team of cops to secretly collect information about the gang. He suspected that all the information about the gang collected by his team was somehow known to the gang, and every time the gang managed to escape. It finally took more than 3 months for the team of cops to trace the gang. When they came to know the details about the gang, the cops were shocked. They could not believe that the gangs they were looking for was a gang of interstate dacoits. They were wanted in many cases of dacoity and robberies in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu.
ಪ್ರಾಥಮಿಕವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ತಂಡಗಳನ್ನು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಬ್ಬರಿಬ್ಬರು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ 4 ದಿಕ್ಕಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸಿ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಸಂಗ್ರಹಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ವಿ. ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಕೇಂದ್ರಗಳಿಗೂ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಕ್ರಿಯವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಅಪರಾಧಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿವರಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದರು. ನಾವು ಅವರನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋರಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವೇಂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಠಾಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಬೇತಮಂಗಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಪರಾಧ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು.
The gang was popularly known as the Kondapatti gang. It was on February 26, 2014 that the cops got a breakthrough in the case. A team of cops who were constantly in the search of the gang traced the gang members at a dhaba near Vyapanahalli in Tamil Nadu. But who are these gang members? How did the gang become so famous? Theirs is an interesting story. The cops who swung into action to nab the gang members successfully traced the gang members. During the investigation, the cops came across some shocking revelations about the gang. They were surprised when they went through the case history of the Kondapatti gang. The gang was a special one and operated in a very different manner. The gang did not consume non-vegetarian food on the day of executing their operation. Not just that, the gang would never steal from near the idols of God in the house. They would not even look at it. Such was their speciality. What was more was the fact that the gang believed in all kinds of superstitions and cancelled the plan of loot in case they came across any such instances. You may wonder as to why the gang behaved so strangely. The answer lies with their family background. The gang members hailed from a tribal group in Tamil Nadu. They only targeted businessmen and elite class who make money illegally. The gang had turned out to be a big headache for the police of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. The cops of the 3 states were on a lookout for the gang members from a decade, but got no clue about the gang. With the arrest of the gang, more than 22 cases of dacoity and robbery have been solved in Karnataka alone.
The cops in a joint operation successfully nabbed the most wanted and notorious Kondapatti gang from Tamil Nadu. But what were the shocking revelations made by the gang members? We tell you on the other side of the short break. Stay tuned. The cops from 3 states who were on the lookout for the Kondapatti gang finally breathed a sigh of relief when they nabbed them. But what was more shocking were the revelations that the gang made during interrogation. What were they? Let's find out.
With the arrest of the Kondapatti gang, almost 56 cases of dacoity registered during the last 10 years were solved. Not just this, there were more than 33 court warrants issued against the gang members.